So I am Amy Mathewson.
And I'm Ashley Johnson.
And we are here with Girl Talk.
We want to kind of make a difference in people's lives and make you be the best person you can be and kind of encourage that in your life.
We're just talking about Girl Talk, just our daily life and what we have found works for us.
Yes.
Hey girlfriends, welcome to Girl Talk. We are so excited you are here today. We have a passion to encourage women to live their life with intention, to stay positive. And today we wanted to focus specifically on high school graduates that are coming out of this graduation here. We just are dealing with COVID and just a lot of things that we've never seen in the world. So we've got Crystal Koepke and her daughter Regan, who is here. And Regan just finished her high school year. And have you graduated? You haven't had graduation yet?
No, not yet.
Not yet, okay. So we want to hear a little bit from Regan, and did we like COVID and end the year that way? And then even from a mom's perspective, how it played out a little bit. So Ashley and I had fun doing a high school throwback a couple weeks ago. Yeah, and a lot of our memories were like from our senior trip. I almost got left on the island from the Statue of Liberty. Actually, I did. I missed the boat. So that was a good memory there. And Ashley almost got left in Colorado.
Yep. Almost missed the plane.
Yeah, almost missed the plane.
Me and my best friend, we were running.
Don't leave us!
It was a lot of fun though.
Can you imagine nowadays, like you guys are wearing a mask and you're like hyperventilating in that mask? It would not have been good. So Regan, did you guys have a senior trip planned?
No.
Not yet?
Not. Usually the seniors go to Chicago, but there was never even any talk of it.
Okay.
So I don't even know if it was going to happen.
Did you guys have to like plan to save money for that or?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Do you do like?
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Oh,
South
okay.
Central doesn't do a senior trip.
Okay. Oh, that's
not
good.
like traditional schools. A lot of the smaller schools have done away with that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, we were a small school, but
Yeah,
I think they still do it. Like, wow. But that's nice because you didn't have to lose out on that money or expectations or or anything like that. So coming through COVID, and you guys hear schools canceled. Ashley, first of all, how would that have been for you if you throw back and think of like when you were a high school senior?
I would have freaked out at first just because I would have wanted to go on a senior trip. And I know we go like right the month before we graduate, so I'm pretty sure it would have been canceled. So I would have been upset about that. But everything else, maybe not.
Yeah. But I think you're like a very social person. So like the interaction at your lockers and in between classes,
No. I would not have been happy.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I got to school early to talk to friends. I stayed after school for an hour to talk to friends. You know, I was that person. So I would have not been
totally different.
Happy. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So how about you, Regan? How's your personality? Are you a social butterfly?
I'm very social. I enjoy talking to people, but I didn't have a lot of friends in high school, so it wasn't really a big deal to me. And after school, I would go to work anyways, so I didn't really like stay and talk to anybody.
And where do you work?
I work at Olive Garden.
Ooh. Oh, they have the best breadsticks
in the world.
Bring some to me, please? Oh, little shout out there. Oh, they're so good. So not being real social. How did you get the message from the school? Was it like a phone call, email?
Well, we were at lunch and they just sent out a mass email to like the students and parents. So we found out at lunch and we were like, whoa, like we're done.
Wow.
But we only thought it was for 2 weeks, so no one really cared. Like we thought we were gonna be back in time for prom and graduation, so no one really cared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't know how long it was gonna last.
No.
Right.
No. Mm-hmm. So as a mom, hearing that the kids are gonna have to be at home now, how did you feel about that?
Well, it was the same thing. We got the email, and I think it happened to be like 2 weeks before spring break. So we thought, okay, we'll have 2 weeks off of school, and then we'll have spring break, and then they'll go back.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
Still haven't been back.
And I say that daily. You guys need to go back to school. For me, it wasn't as bad because they're older.
Okay.
You know, they could do their schoolwork on their own, and you know, she goes to work, and you know, I shouldn't say they saw friends. They talked to friends, but for me, it was different because they are older.
Yeah.
If they had been younger.
The e-learning and all that. I feel like some parents were freaking out about the e-learning.
And they're both very good students. I'd never had to help them with schoolwork, so I mean, they're pretty responsible. They do things when they're supposed to.
Does the academic part come easily to you? Do you struggle?
Yes, but not online. I cannot do online work.
That would be me.
I have to be in the classroom to learn. Yeah.
Yeah, how do you get your questions answered? Like, how does it work online?
Well, I had a big problem with that because, like, teachers, it's not easy for them to ignore you when you're at school in their face asking them questions, but they can ignore emails.
Right.
So.
Not respond as quickly or take days, but what if you need to know the answer right then, right there?
Right.
That's hard. I didn't even think about that.
But even looking at it from the teacher side, like, if somebody asked you a math question, how do you answer that in an email?
Were they willing to FaceTime or anything?
Some teachers would do video calls to their kids, but others wouldn't. So
interesting.
The Zoom.
The older teachers wouldn't.
Zoom.
So and a lot we have an older teacher who does pre-cal and trig, and those kids were screwed. They couldn't do anything because they didn't know. They came learn from a book.
I did talk to a calculus teacher, and she said, you got to a point where we just couldn't do it. It was try to learn from the book, but there's nothing I can do.
I couldn't. I was terrible at math, so there was no way I'd have to be in class.
Same here. Or chemistry. Chemistry was my worst. I mean, I was on the phone every night anyways, asking that top student, what do I do? Right. And then you're just tell me the answer.
Didn't I have some experiments you had to do at home?
Yeah, I took Chem 101 last year, and we had to do experiments at home. And, we had a professor who would never answer her emails. She was based out of Indy, so you couldn't call her or anything. So that was
kind of experiments?
Fun. Just, they weren't, hard. You weren't, blowing stuff up, but it was just...
or you weren't supposed to blow stuff up.
It was just, stuff that's, you needed a teacher with you to do it.
Right. I would be scared. I don't know. I'd be kind of nervous to do that. And not be in a lab or, we had a lab to go into.
Right.
So I don't.
That had that stuff, the eye machine, the eye fountain and all that kind of stuff. Ooh. I mean, an experiment, if I'm making that giant toothpaste, okay, I could handle that. But if we're talking a beaker and you're measuring stuff, oh my goodness, no.
Right. Yeah.
No, thank you. So let's look at it. You're at home learning. You don't have interaction with your friends per se. Everything's online. Do you feel sheltered in, locked into your house? How does that work?
I was going insane.
Yeah, that's what I would be too.
I'm the
yeah.
kind of person who needs my alone time, and when everyone's at home, and my dad wasn't really working because he couldn't farm, so we were all in the house, and I was going crazy, and I couldn't go on drives. I couldn't just drive. It was not good.
That's me. I love being around people, but I do reach a point where I'm empty and I have to go away by myself. And it was there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go.
Yeah, you can't just go get a coffee. You're stuck in your room.
Right,
you can just sit there inside Starbucks and just chill.
Yeah, and I really feel that's where a lot of fear came in, because not only are you stuck at home, but all we had was the news and media. Still, I think a lot of people are not paying attention to it as much, but it just is pouring all that fear inside of you. So you're I don't even want to go outside of my house. Right. It's very scary, but that's hard. So then you find out you're not going back to school at all. How did you feel about that?
I was happy because I didn't really like high school, but also I can't learn online, so it wasn't ideal, but I was okay with it.
Yeah.
So.
Do you feel like it was hard for your grades?
Yes.
And were you worried about that for colleges and stuff? Mom's
sorry, I couldn't hide that.
Were you worried about the grades, Mom?
Yeah. I wasn't worried about it for college just because I had already gotten all my scholarships and I already gotten accepted into it, and they take your last, so they only use the first semester for your senior year when it comes to class rank and stuff. So I was okay, but if they would have counted it, I would not have been okay.
Yeah.
It was not good.
Wow. I don't know. You've talked to seniors, Ashley. What's the feeling you got from them? Were they disappointed school was canceled? What?
I think the actual school itself, because I think they made it to where you pass no matter what. So, a senior I know, she kind of just asked for help or kind of just copied, or I'm sure a lot of people did that just because you don't really need to know because you're going to pass anyways. And I think they only had to do school twice a week. I don't know how it worked for you. How did that work?
We had 3 days a week.
Okay.
To do it,
but she was more upset about the social stuff. So prom, actual graduation. I feel like graduation's a big thing for high schoolers.
Right.
That's a lot of years you put into school. You want to be celebrated, you know.
Even for parents. How do you feel about that?
It's just as important for parents.
Yeah.
I mean, our school has made a point. I mean, it's not until the 19th of July, but they made a point to, that's important. They want those kids to at least have that part of it, however it's going to be. You know, we've gotten emails about what they're trying to make it look like, and it's not going to look like a normal graduation at all. Right. But at least it will be a graduation.
Something.
Yeah. So how are they choosing, like, valedictorian, salutatorian? Like, do they cut out the last semester, or what do they do?
That's what they basically they did, is they went by that first semester of senior year.
And that's crazy. You have no idea that
I
you're
just wonder how that's going to affect kids coming forward. Because the kids that are going to be seniors this year or seniors in 2 years, that's really going to affect their GPA. Having this, and I'm sorry, but the upcoming school year is not going to really mean anything either. Just because of the way things are, they're not going to be able to do grading like they've always done before. So.
Yeah. Well, and a couple of seniors I know are talking about honors, like, that would affect, like, whatever their, I didn't go to a public school, so I'm not really sure how that works, but, like, their honors, like, she was afraid, like, because it's a 4-year thing. Right. She was afraid that this was gonna, or if it did, I'm not sure. But I'm like,
we're running.
You work so hard.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow. You work so hard all those years, and then it's like,
yeah.
Oh, well.
So let's switch off of the COVID topic here, and, like, let's just focus on regular life. You're a senior. You're about to graduate. And do you feel an incredible amount of pressure? Like, I need to know where I'm going. I need to know what college. Do you put the pressure on yourself? Do other people put it on you?
I think for a while I put the pressure on myself, but towards the end of the year, you're trying to sign up for scholarships and do your, like, get everything in by your deadlines. And I think it's just, at that point, it was just people putting pressure on me. Like, and it's like students get a lot of pressure put on them just because we're 18. No one knows what they want to do. And you're already confused because you're getting thrown into life. Like, you're not really prepared for life at all in high school, and then you're thrown into it, and they're like, okay, pick a job you're going to do for the rest of your life. And it's hard. It's crazy.
Yeah. I think it's funny that it has that stigma to it. You know, why do we expect that from people? Why do we expect them to all of a sudden be 18 and now you got to figure your whole life out? You know, you've got 50 years ahead of you, so make it good. You know, that's hard. Right. So as a mom, how do you feel when you have a child that reaches graduation? Tell us some of your thoughts and emotions.
I'm scared to death.
Yeah.
All I can do is pray that I did everything I was supposed to this point.
Sure.
Because you can't, I don't think I ever had him in a bubble.
Right.
But I was a parent that was involved, and I wanted to know what was going on and be a part of everything. And you know, they hit 18, and you kind of, it's almost like an unwritten feeling. I don't want to say unwritten feeling, but it's a feeling you have the day they turn 18 that you've just lost some of that responsibility. Yeah. But you've also lost some of that advice you can give them, wisdom you can give them. Parenting would be a nice way to put. You lose that.
Right.
So as a parent, you just, you know, I know that's discussions that her and I have is, this is what you should do, but you're 18, you're going to do what you want.
But I do think that's amazing, and that says a lot about you as a mom, because, I mean, we all know of moms that are still trying to help their son who just had their first child, or daughter that had their first child, like, still train them, you know? So I think that says a lot about you to acknowledge that I do need to step back, and I have had a chance to do everything I can. I'll always be here to advise you, but I am also going to let you do your life. That says a lot, and I know that cannot be easy.
No.
Well, I'm going to get emotional for a minute, but when you have a kid, you give him back to God. So at this point, God's got her.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
And I know that, so I don't have to worry about some of those other things.
Yeah. But then
it takes a little bit of pressure off of me.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, so that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Well, and then I think, okay, God's got it, so it ain't my mess up.
Right. My time is done.
But you do. You just are like, okay, I'm done. I have to be done.
Yeah.
So, but that doesn't mean that I still don't interject things every now and then.
Absolutely.
I mean, my mom still gives me advice and stuff, and I'm going to be 25, you know? So she still tells me her opinion.
That's what I was going to say.
Part of being
a mom.
Yeah, and I enjoy it. I'm glad she does it, because I'm like, oh, I didn't think about it that way, or, you know, put it from my mom's perspective, looking down, you know, when she has way more experience in life than me. So, I mean, it's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I'm like, what? I didn't ask for that. You know, but then in the long run, I'm like, I like it. I'm glad she did it. But that's, you know.
That's when I preface it as, I know you didn't ask, but.
I'm still going to tell you
I'm your mom, and I can give you my opinion. So to
it.
wrap it up a little bit, let me give it to Crystal for a minute, and maybe you could speak to another mom that might be in your situation. You know, what kind of like advice would you have for them and all the emotions they're going through that you felt?
Just support them. Let them know that you love them. Let them know that God loves them. That no matter what they decide to do, they can always change their mind.
Yeah.
You can always pick something different if it doesn't work out. I'm proud of you. You know, let them know you're proud, you know. They need to know that you have their back because they're going to fall flat on their face.
Right.
We did, they're going to. So I guess that would be my big one is just make sure they know you love them.
I love that. Yeah. Regan, if we give you a chance here, what would you say to the other seniors out there that are feeling how you're feeling it? Feeling the pressure of, I've got to have it all figured out. The whole world is weighing on me. What would you advise another senior in your shoes right now?
I think something that's helped me not feel like I have so much pressure and it's kind of given me pieces. I have my entire life to figure out what I want to do.
Yeah.
I don't have to do what other people want. If I want to not go to college, I don't have to. It's not other people's decision. Like, do what you want and do what's going to make you happy, because at the end of the day, no job, no person, nothing's going to make you happy except yourself. So if something is making you feel pressure, I think you need to get rid of it. Unless it's your mom, of course.
Get rid of it. She said get rid of it.
I don't think you have a choice.
Yeah.
I just think at the end of the day, like, you're your own person. Do what you want.
Yeah.
So.
I love that. And I think just to add to that a little bit is like, you know, God has a purpose for each and every single person. Mm-hmm. So you are right. Like, to be truly happy is like finding what that purpose is that God has for your life and doing it. Now, that's easy to say because you're like, how do you find that purpose? Right. But I think if I add just a little bit of advice, it would be, you're so young. You know, like, I'm still so young. We're all still so young. So even if you go to college for one thing and then you feel God starting to move you somewhere else, like, you're at a point in your life where you're going to start seeing what your strengths are. And you're going to start seeing the gifts that God has given you. And you're just now at a point in life, oh, I got goosebumps, where, you know, God's really going to start showing you what he has equipped you with. Mm-hmm. And it's going to take some time to figure out, is it this? Is it this? You know, I went to school to be a teacher, and I was a teacher, and I don't regret it. I loved it. I learned a lot, and that was where I was supposed to be at that point in my life. But right now, I'm definitely not supposed to be a teacher. Mm-hmm. So, you know, try something, and if it doesn't work, try again. Mm-hmm. You know, you do not, it's not, I said I was going to be a doctor, and I have to be that for the next 60 years. It's not that at all. Mm-hmm. So I love it. Yeah, please.
I went to school to be an x-ray tech, and then I thought I wanted to go in ultrasound. I literally went to school for ultrasound for almost a year, realized I didn't like it, dropped out, still an x-ray tech. So, I mean, like, it wasn't for me. Like, that was my dream since high school. Like, first you have to be an x-ray tech, and then you moved on to, you know, the higher modalities. But then I was like, oh, no, this is not for me, even though I thought it was going to be for me. And then I even went back to school last year, and I'm going to be going back again for hopefully a different position. But it's just, like, you just constantly grow, too, at the same time. You know, you're not limited to one thing.
Yeah.
You're limited multiple possibilities.
Right. Oh, yeah. So. And I would say, like, I'm so excited to see what God does with this senior class, because something that incredible that you guys have just experienced, you know, like, God knows you were equipped to handle that. So I can't wait to see, like, when these seniors get a little bit down the road, like, how you're going to help our country, and what you have to offer to people is just going to be unbelievable. So
I'm excited.
If you are a high school student and you're feeling discouraged right now, or you're a mom and you're losing your child, and and you know, like, as a mom, you lost senior year too, you know, like, you had prom pictures planned for your child and all of that. I do want to encourage everyone that God has a purpose, you know, and whether it turned out the way we thought or not, like, his purpose is best, his plan is best. So continue on, guys. It's going to be good. God's got great things planned. Thank you so much for tuning into Girl Talk today. And we just want you guys to continue to live a positive life. Thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you next Friday.